In my last video, I exposed 5 lies told within the first 4 minutes of a Hush Twins podcast interview with Sonny Faz and Beck Lover.
Smiling and, Sharia law.
Western democracy is actually built on Sharia law. The Prophet Muhammad said, peace be upon him, when you live in a foreign land, you must obey their laws. But as far as chopping off the heads of Christians, if you find that in the Quran, I'll get baptized today. If you find in the Quran where Christians are infidels or Jews are infidels, I'll get baptized. Any church, any denomination you guys pick.
And I thought that was it. But then I went on Twitter and I saw a 59 seconds clip from the interview where Sonny tries to answer the $1 million question.
Why do they call Muhammad a pedophile?
The response was so bad, so factually bankrupt, that I had to go back and watch that segment from the interview.
The one faith that they try to make seem is the one that oppresses women the most is literally the first faith to liberate them, bro.
I mean, the lies I exposed in the previous video were just fibs. These ones we are about to discuss are galaxy brain levels of stupid.
Why do they call Muhammad a pedophile? I always say that from Christians.
They're talking about the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him's marriage with Aisha. So it's not even 100% confirmed that she was supposedly 9 years old.
This guy is physically incapable of telling the truth. We have multiple Sahih Hadiths, not one, not two, but a mountain of them, stating explicitly he married her at 6 and rode her at 9.
Like Muhammad on the night of Al-Zut.
I mean, the same Hadith corpus that tells Muslims how to pray, how to fast, and how to pay zakat is the same corpus that says she was a child. If these narrations are not 100% confirmed, then nothing in Islam is. You don't get to pick and choose. Even Muslim academic Jonathan Brown admits,
Aisha says, the Prophet consummated the marriage with me when I was 9 years old. I mean, it's the most explicit data you have on this issue.
In a society that was not a record keep, not a very accurate one, mostly oral, most people could not read illiterate. If you don't know your own age, how are you going to know your age at the time you're saying this is my age? That's number one. That's our first argument.
Ah, yes, the Arabs are too stupid to count argument. Yes, the same Arabs who memorized the Quran word for word and letter for letter. They recited narrations with details. Ibn Umar was rejected from battle at 14 and accepted at 15. Yes, they could track that, but they just can't be trusted when it comes to the age of the Prophet's favorite wife. But it was Aisha herself reporting her age. She didn't say, I think I was 9-ish. She says, the Prophet married me when I was 6 and consummated when I was 9. Look, call Aisha unreliable, fine, but out goes the hundreds of hadiths and Islamic rulings that she narrated. You can't have perfect recall Aisha for the religion and dementia Aisha for her marriage to Muhammad. Pick one.
They want to make a microscope onto the ancient Arabians of the desert, when even within our own country, if we look at the law of consent in the U.S.,
Delaware,
and I'm not defending this, but we got to put things into context. Delaware was 7 years old, bro. I'd hang someone they try to be with my daughter at 7.
Yes.
Beck, you are playing the wrong spot. Delaware laws are man-made, repealable, and morally criticizable. But Allah said Muhammad is the excellent example for all mankind. No expiration date, no cultural footnotes. And Muhammad claimed Allah revealed Aisha to him in a dream. This was theologically sanctioned. So when Beck says,
I'd hang someone they try to be with my daughter at 7.
Yes.
he is admitting that his moral compass is superior to that of Allah's excellent example.
Arranged marriage, same thing exists in Christianity and Judaism. It's forbidden in Islam.
Is that a joke? Muhammad literally said the adulteress is the one who arranges her own marriage, and that's graded Sahih. To say arranged marriage is forbidden isn't just a lie, it is an inversion of Islamic doctrine.
Did you know that 50% of the female circumcision is Christian African tribes?
This right here is the most egregious lie of the entire interview. Just look at the data on FGM rates in Africa. Somalia, 98%. Mali, 91%. Egypt, 92%. Sudan, 88%. Guinea, 97%. And all these are Muslim majority countries. Almost every country in Africa with an alarming FGM rate has a Muslim majority population and enforces Sharia.
It's forbidden in Islam to deform the female clitoris. Forbidden.
Look at what you put on the screen. It says modern Islamic scholars. But what about classical Islamic scholars? You know, the ones Muslims actually listen to. In the Shafi school of law, FGM is obligatory. In Hanbali and Maliki schools, it is recommended. And in Hanafi schools, it is permitted. In the Hadiths, Muhammad includes circumcision as his definition of fitra. And Aisha reports, when the two circumcised parts meet, gauze becomes obligatory. She's essentially saying when the circumcised private part part of a man and the circumcised private part of a woman meet, they must have a bath afterwards. Will she be talking about a woman's circumcised private part if circumcision was forbidden?
And read when it started, before Islam.
What do you mean by before Islam? I thought Adam was a Muslim, Abraham was a Muslim, Moses, David, Jesus, and even Alexander the Great. We are all Muslims. Nothing existed before Islam, and even nothing was a Muslim. There is no pre-Islamic practice. Even democracy comes from Sharia, remember?
Western democracy is actually built on Sharia law.
Sure, Jan.
Even pagans were circling the Kaaba before Muhammad was even conceived. And Muhammad came and Islamized it like he Islamized child marriage, arranged marriage, and FGM. And that's how female circumcision became prevalent in Malaysia. The Malaysian people never circumcised their women historically until Islam brought the practice to the region.
Yeah, when they say he was a pedo, I would say we know she was past the age of puberty. She was engaged. We don't know for sure if she was 9.
Bro, the main point is that she wasn't prepubescent.
Two shameless liars. Aisha was playing with dolls. In Islamic law, once puberty hits, images become haram. The fact that she was playing with dolls proves that she was a prepubescent child when your prophet mounted her.
Like Muhammad on the night of Al-Zut.
His first wife was 20 years older than him.
Yeah,
if he liked him young, he was the king, brother. He could have had him off.
That's a non sequitur. Marrying an older woman doesn't mean you don't like children. And the Islamic sources show Muhammad did both. And he even said to Jabil, why didn't you marry a virgin so you could play or fondue her? Yes, and it doesn't get more pedophilic than that. And that makes your prophet a certified pedophile.
So he had, I believe, 9 wives. She was his only wife that was actually younger than him.
This is just an unnecessary lie. Like, what does it even achieve? What's the point? The only older women Muhammad married were Khadija and possibly Sauda. The rest were significantly younger than he was. At this point, these guys are just lying for the heck of it.
What the Hadith says is that, they were engaged at 6, which was common.
Okay, first of all, they were not engaged. The marriage contract was written when Aisha was 6 years old. And second, how can a 6-year-old consent? Doesn't that mean the marriage was, what is that word? What is that word?
Arranged marriage.
Yes, you just contradicted yourself, Sonny.
The age of consent in Islam, for me, is actually a proof that it's divine, that is from God.
Exactly. The ability to marry even a toddler is the absolute proof of the divine.
Because there isn't an age. There's a few different circumstances for it. One, you have to be past puberty.
Say it 1,000,000 times. It doesn't make it true. Quran 65 verse 4 gives the divorce waiting period for those who have not yet menstruated, Sonny. And classical scholars all agree that this verse refers to a prepubescent girl who was married and divorced after consummation. Even the Quran allows for marriage, consummation, and divorce of prepubescent girls.
So if he was a pedophile, astaghfirullah, I don't even want to say that, why would he even wait? Why would there even be that period of waiting without having, intercourse with her?
Because the hadith tells us 6-year-old Aisha was scrawny, sickly, and losing her hair. He didn't wait for moral reasons. He just didn't want to kill his child bride on her wedding night, just as one of his followers did in Yemen.
And then secondly, mentally mature.
Sonny, the hadiths literally say that Aisha's only fault was that she was a girl of immature age.
And the first faith on earth to say the woman can say no.
But what if the child doesn't say anything? Muhammad said a virgin's silence is her consent. But sure, Beck, whatever you say.
Sure, Jan.
But here is the sad reality. As Sonny Faz and Beck lovers sat there spewing lies, the Hush twins were just nodding along. One of them even said,
The 18, that's like a social construct of today.
Is that what we are doing now? What Paul said about the Corinthian church has become the truth about this new breed of right-wing America. You put up with fools gladly.